Hey guys, it's me Dex, also known as DwXR, and this is the ultimate guide on how to make an asymmetrical horror game in Roblox Studio, and we're gonna be making one using DwXR's Asym engine. So, you must be thinking, what's DwXR's Asym engine? This is pretty much the old kit, but I have added and improved a lot of stuff in it. So, there's a settings, this shows the hitbox, and this disables you from being killer. And we have spectate that shows the name, the character they're using, and then their HP bar. And this is the next and the previous player. This is a shop. This is no longer 3D like the old one. I've added a info. This has the difficulty, health, walk speed, sprint speed. The same goes for killers. And yeah, I've also improved like hitboxes. As you can see, it's way more smoother now. It's not like lagging behind you like before because I added ping compensation. And also, every single animation you see here is free. They're inside these rigs, so you can use them. So let's get started. So I'm gonna teach you how to add new characters. Go to replicated storage, go to characters. You'll be greeted with two folders. One is killers and one is survivors. Now, this folder will have one killer and this folder will have one survivor. You can add more killers and then you can add more survivors. So we're gonna be focusing on survivors for now. You might be wondering, what's the assets folder? So the assets folder will include different assets for each skin. So for the default skin, you will have your own animation, models, and sounds. Now if I want to make a new skin, it will have a different animations, models, and sounds. It's optional. It's alright if you don't add more. So if you want to change the sprint speed, it's right here. It's a number value. Same with walk speed. And the abilities module includes the abilities. And this is their character model. So let's make a new character. Let's get the John folder and use it as a template. Let's name this character Jane. So let's get the default model and let's make a new model for Jane. So I just finished making my new character model. Now take the model and put it back to their folder. Make sure the model is unanchored. So now we're gonna make abilities for this character. I'm not gonna make complicated abilities, so I will just make it print. Let's remove this ability. Let's do the same for this one. Make sure survivor character is the name of your survivor. So the first ability for Jane is test 1. And then the second ability is going to be test 2. And we're going to do a print. And we're going to do one here too. I'm not going to teach you how to script your own abilities, but this is pretty much like a little template. So when test 1 fires, when you use test 1, it prints out this, and then when you use test 2, and it prints out this. So cooldown is how long is the cooldown for this ability. Image ID is pretty much the image you want to put here. So you can go to 2D assets, decals, you can put pretty much anything here. There, so let's put God Tycoon, that. And then for this, you can also briefly disable players' inputs for their abilities. So if the ability is currently running, the other abilities won't work. You can use input lock. Now you might be wondering, where did I get this block of code? You can get it here, right here. So what this does is, if the player has input lock, if not input lock, then it returns Zen. That means if it doesn't find the input lock inside the player, it will not work. It will just return. Now this makes it true, and after the ability, let's make input lock false. So pretty much, when input lock is enabled, other abilities won't work. And when we disable it, everything works fine. So that's pretty much what input lock is. So make sure if you're gonna make it so you other abilities don't work during this ability, make sure you turn it on and turn it off. Don't forget to turn it off. You can do the same for the second ability. So yeah, that's pretty much what input locked is. So after you're done with the abilities, just close this and go to the modules folder in replicated storage. Now go to character module. Now you will be greeted by this little table here. So we're gonna add a new survivor. Go to line 22 and copy this until line 17. Control C and then Control V. So replace John with the name of your character and replace the name of the abilities. So for our first ability, it's named Test 1. So the first ability here should be named Test 1 as well. Same goes to Test 2. So make sure your ability is named exactly the same as the abilities here. So make sure that's named exactly the same. So that's pretty much how you make a new character. Now, how do you put it in the shop? Well, it's pretty simple. Go to the shop module and go to the survivors section. Copy this and add a new survivor. Let's name our character Jane. And the cost is gonna be 100. In default, you will have 500 ticks. Let's change the image ID with our new image. And let's change the flavor text. I'm Jane. And you can add your own lore. And then the difficulty. You can actually use the stars here. You can use it here. This is visual. Same with these. And for the ability, so ability 1, make sure for continuity, make sure it's the same image and then the name. Test 1 and then test 2. I'm not gonna change the description because that's self-explanatory. That's pretty much it. If you want to make a skin, make sure you go to survivors, default. So make sure you have a new model for the skin. So I'm just gonna make her head blue. And we will do skin. Paste it here. And go to the shop module again. And make a section for your new character here. Even if you're not gonna make a skin, make sure they have their own section in the skin section. Don't change the name. And don't change the cost if it's default. Now, if you wanna make a new skin, just copy this and paste. Now, the name of our skin, make sure it's the name of the model. And then the image is just gonna be this. And that's pretty much it. So we can load the game now and see if it works. Okay, so we're inside the game. Let's open the shop. And there we go. There's Jane. Let's buy the character. And let's open the skin. So we have the default skin and then the Jane skin. The new skin for Jane. So let's use the default skin for now. Let's check the info. Let's check the info actually. And yeah, it works. So let's test the character. So this is Jane. This is the test 1 and test 2. This prints and that prints. So you can see, let's go to the server. And there you go. Test 1 and test 2, it prints. So let's test the skin. Buy and equip. And then let's use it. As you can see, it works. It has my head blue. That's pretty much how you add characters and add skins in the game. So now I'm going to teach you how the animations work. So every single animation for the survivor and the killer is in this folder called animations in the workspace. So to access it, go to the avatar tab on your Roblox Studio and open the clip editor. So what we need for now is the idle and the walk cycle. So inside starter player and starter character scripts, you'll see a animate script. So inside the animate script, it has the animation ID for the idle, the animation ID for the walk, and the animation ID for the run. So what you're going to do is go to, let's say I'll start with the idle, publish the Roblox, and then save it. Once it's published, copy the ID, open the animate script, and paste it here. So we changed the idle animation. That pretty much goes the same for the run and walk animation. So after you do all of that, go to your animate script again, copy it, and go to characters, survivors, and every single character model, you have to replace the animate script inside them. There. The same goes for killers, but make sure the animate script has the killer animations like this instead of the survivor animations. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the hitbox system. Open replicated storage and go to modules, and then open up hitbox module. You'll be greeted with two functions. First is constant, second is singular. What the constant function does is it makes a bunch of hitboxes until it hits a humanoid. For the singular function, it only makes one hitbox. So I'm going to show you an example of the singular hitbox. So I actually use this function for John's gun. Go to replicated storage, characters, and survivors, and let's check John's abilities module. Now let's check his revolver ability. As you can see, it uses the singular hitbox function. So here's the parameters. We get the player's root part, and this is the size of the hitbox, and this is how far the hitbox is to the root part. This is the function that runs when someone hits the hitbox. So what it does is it stuns the killer. So now for the constant, I used it for Killer Kyle's slash ability, which is his M1, as you can see here. It's pretty much the same. It gets the player, the root part, how big the hitbox is, and how far it is to the player, the duration of the hitbox, and the increment between every single hitbox. And we have a function too that fires when someone hits the hitbox. So that's pretty much how the hitbox system works in this game. Okay, so now I'm gonna explain the status effect module. As usual, go to replicated storage, modules, and status effect module. As you can see, there's a list of all of these status effects in game. So I'm gonna explain a status effect. Okay, here's slowness. This is the name of the status effect. Maximum stacks. So maximum stacks is the maximum amount that status stacks. Like slowness 1, slowness 2, slowness 3. On apply, this function fires when the effect applies for the first time. And on remove is this fires when the status effect is over. So that's pretty much a quick glimpse of the status effect module. It's pretty easy to add a new status effect. You can get one of these old ones, just paste it, change the name to your name of your status, the maximum stacks you want, the player, and then that's pretty much it. And you can just script it here. So yeah, that's a quick rundown of it. Okay, so you might be wondering, why isn't there an intro? Actually, I made the intro optional. So go to server script service, game logic, configuration, and as you can see, here are some configs you can change. There's the intermission time, if the intro is enabled or not, the amount killer gets when they win, minimum players for the game to start, round time, to survive, how many tick survivors gets when they win. So let's look into this. Um, Select it and enable the value. So now the intro is enabled. Okay, so once the intro is enabled, go to replicated storage, open up the cutscenes folder. So make sure your killer has a folder inside the cutscenes folder that has the same name as your killer. So just drag it in workspace. As you can see, there's a little scene here for the intro. So inside the folder, you will see three values: camera animation, character animation, and cutscene duration. And then you'll see a camera model, and then this is pretty much the scene, and this is a spawn. So what the spawn does is it gets the killer model and it spawns it here, and the camera is pretty much being animated. So the camera animation, just paste it here, and the character animation, just paste it here too, and make sure you have the duration of the cutscene here. So that's pretty much it. So if you want the animation, I will actually provide it to you. It'll be right here. This the camera animation, and for the character, I believe I put it here. If I believe I put it here, but okay. I'll just put it somewhere in the workspace later. So yeah, that's pretty much how intro works. Okay, so let's say you want to make a new map. So make sure you have a map model. So let's just use the lobby as an example. So go to the maps folder inside replicated storage, and let's take one of the old maps. The pre-built map that I have here. Let's take everything inside of it except for map and walls. Let's delete it. And paste it in the workspace. Nope. I'm gonna just make a folder. Put our new map here. Now name this one new map. And paste it here. There you go. So let's set up the spawns. So let's get the survivor spawns and just place it in the map. Just place it anywhere you want. Just place it here, so you can actually make this, yeah, not transparent, so you can see it. You can see it's in the map. So same with the killer spawn. You can only add one spawn for the killer, and then for the survivors you can have as many as you want. It's infinite. And the killer only doors can be just one part. Yeah, that's pretty much how you make a new map. Now, there's a new feature that I added. There's a ambience. Pretty much this is a string value, and inside of it is a audio ID. So we can put pretty much any audio we want here, and it will play during the map. So let's find a little audio here. Oh my god, that's ear piercing. So let's just paste it here. And there you go. Yeah, make sure your map is anchored as usual, and that's it. You're done. You have made your new map. So yeah, that's pretty much how you add new maps in the game. Okay guys, we're so close from being finished. Now I'm gonna explain the custom LMS. So this feature is actually heavily requested. So go to replicated storage, modules, and LMS modules. Now look at this, it's not much, but I have added like some comments here, so it's pretty easy to digest. So pretty much this is the default LMS. So if there's no special LMS, it'll just go to the default one and just put the length of the LMS. Like pretty much you can put this as anything, but I figured like some LMS has like their own duration. So you can have your own duration for each LMS. So this is pretty much like the actual time of the last man standing. So this is the special LMS. So this is gonna be the first block here. Is gonna be the name of the killer, and the second block is gonna be the name of the survivor. And just paste the ID for their LMS song, and then the length. And yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. So just if you want to add more, just copy that and just edit this. And yeah, that's pretty much how you do custom LMS. Okay, so now I'm gonna teach you how to add a new setting. Go to shop server and go here under disable killer. And let's make a new setting. So I'm just gonna name it test setting. Make sure you replace those and make sure the parent is settings folder. And let's actually name it test setting. Now I'm gonna search up disable killer again. So just control F disable killer, and as you can see it just repeats. So just do the same data settings, but instead of disable killer you put test setting. And so go here, let's copy this block. Now the name is test setting, so let's shorten it as TS. Make sure every DK here is TS. Don't forget this one. Make sure you followed what I did there. It's pretty simple. Just copy the old ones and replace it with the new one. And after all of that, go to mainframe, settings frame, settings local. And let's make a new setting title. Make sure the name of your value is exactly the same of the name you're putting here. So test setting and test setting. So that's pretty much a complete rundown on how the kit works. So if you like that video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and support me any way you can. Actually have a donation game below. You can play that and give me a little Robux. That would be pretty cool. I will use the donation for my games. And yeah, if you have any issues, if you need any help, just join my Discord server. The link is down below. Go to the help channel and inquire there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Goodbye.